Can you hear this, Jack? You don't have your headphones.
Yeah, can you hear it? Can you see it on the thing?
Say something.
Say something.
Something.
Yeah, perfect. What's up, guys? I'm about to scan this. That's not what you sound like. Like a little bit. You ready?
I'm waiting for you, man.
We've completed the Winner's Quick Change mount in the Corvette subframe. We're just going to show you how easily it all goes together. We're going to do the test fit. We're going to measure some things, confirm some things. We're going to install a dummy block. It was a blown up 6.2 liter block that my brother gave us. Hook it up to our GSR, throw that up in the car, and then we're going to see how the drive shaft angle goes to the diff, and see if we need to cut anything or do anything, see where our exhaust is going to go. It's going to be great. Okay, so this is the front mount. The reason it was designed this way is because we had to remove some material out of the subframe. Because the subframe's aluminum, this is going to act as a mount and a brace, spanning the whole width of the subframe. The other reason is because the Corvette has a torque tube from factory, which limits the differential from rotating. But since we're converting to a rear differential and a drive shaft, that rotational torque is now absorbed by the subframe alone. So we need to make sure that we have nice, beefy steel mounts and braces to handle that load. The rear is going to constrain the diff to the subframe using these big mounts going to the far corner of the subframe where it's heavily gusseted underneath and it's nice and thick. We have a backing plate washer and bolt that's going to go from the back side, and then these simply just get installed to the diff, which we're going to put these on first anyways. Winners is so nice. They use 7/16 bolts, which nobody uses ever. So we had to order some more. We're gonna get all new hardware on this. We're waiting on Kyle to get the power tools out. Thank you.
We got the tools out.
Just take it easy, Kyle. Don't tighten it yet. Okay. So the rear mounts go on super easy. The diff was cut. So we cut it using a printout PDF file template that I made. Kyle did a great job at doing it. So in the car, this would actually be easier as the diff would already be above you and you'd be free to go under. But I designed this to locate the diff left to right and forward to back. From factory, it comes with slots, but I've put the holes in the plate to actually be at the maximum position of the slots. So the bolts are going to be touching the outside of each slot, which is going to constrain the diff to the exact location that we want it to be in with no chance of or ability to move whatsoever. So you can go ahead and tighten those in. We need to grab a couple bolts, throw them through here. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, so using the provided bolts, we've got these nice M10 flange bolts, nuts. Can lift it up a little bit. Tighten her down.
You feel real smart after?
Are your fingers not strong enough?
I don't have strong fingers.
So the rear, now that the front's locked in place, we can probably lift it up right on its back end.
Yeah.
Sit it up like this.
Okay.
So up and back on its rear. And these washers are going to be installed underneath. It's designed for the flat to clearance the gusset. So we're going to need a 22 mil and a wrench and an impact. But I think once this is locked in place, we'll definitely be able to just leave the mounts as part of the subframe and then remove the diff separate from the mounts once we get the location and everything tightened in. So once you do this process, it should be pretty easy. We just want to make sure the hardware is good and it's not going to come off. These are lock nuts, or nylock nuts. A deep 22. That literally, that vibrated me to death.
I know.
So loosen it a bit, because we want to make sure this side's tight first on the diff. Right here. We want to make sure that the mount is aligned. Okay, tighten it there. Now we can tighten this. The way that this was designed was to reinforce the cross member at the front, and then joining the diff and mounting it on two angled surfaces is going to constrain this half of the diff to this half. And then do you have that plate that I said we needed to powder coat?
Yeah, I do.
Out of the picture, Kyle.
Oh my chill, man.
Okay, drop it back down with me, please. So the last part of this kit that we made was this reinforcement plate. I know it looks kind of rusty, it's just because it came off the water jet, but I designed this to, can we prop the rear end of this up for a second? Just throw, okay, no. Just throw something under it.
Not the most expensive jack stand ever.
Yeah, right there. So this plate was designed just to, because we removed so much material, we'll just bolt that through the aluminum using the holes outlined, and then just you do through bolts. This may or may not be formula drift legal. I know it says that you can't do subframe reinforcements, but based on my prediction where the subframe wasn't initially designed to handle torque from a diff mounted this way, this may be required. We're gonna find out. Doesn't hurt, and it's probably legal for any other series, so I'm gonna run it, and if they tell me to take it off, then I have to take it off. Now we get to see if it fits.
We're gonna see if it fits. Now you have to be excited like that. Go ahead.
That was so fake, so
Go.
cheesy.
Try it.
I
That's
can't
the
do
point.
that. I
Try
can't cheese
Oh
it.
my god. Decide, what are we doing right now?
We're going to see if it's gonna fit in the car.
I like yours better. Yeah, say something better. Come on.
We're gonna see if the window quick change is gonna fit inside the C6 Corvette. How do we put it up in there? Quite a bit of room.
What?
We could just measure it.
Tape measure it then.
You got a tape measure?
Yeah.
Give us a little tape there, bud.
5 inches exactly.
Yeah, I think I'm angled up a little bit just to give it some.
Okay, 5 inches exactly. Oh my god. 8.
It's to here.
That's a Texas size I'm gonna fit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, drop her down. Drop her down, bud. This is a cool video. You better be taking some footage.
Okay. No, please, thank you. You need a break yet? Oh my god, the line stuck up.
That's a big win from the boys.
The front needs
Oh, it's in.
Yeah, keep coming, Kyle.
Oh, no, that's good. That's okay. We had to remove the hammer. Go.
Yeah. Watch your fingies. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Like it's love.
Now my car's on the table.
Yeah, no, your car's on your.
Is it on my impact?
Not anymore. In fact, it's not anymore. Hey, it fell off the hammer onto your impact. It's fine.
Off under my...
Kyle, where are the nuts at?
Hey, look.
Oh my god, dude. Kyle, where are the nuts at? I expect a full refund.
It fit with literally 4 inches above it. Like, you don't need to cut anything.
Yeah, I had convinced myself that
it looks
was...
incredible. Jack? How does it look?
I think it looks good, Josiah.
The green really comes alive looking at her from the rear.
They're all the same.
I mean, I wanted to powder coat the subframe, probably just black or something, but it's gonna look amazing. I can't wait to lift the car off this table. Cam, tell me what you think.
I think I'd still rather an S chassis.
That just holds it right below it. Why not do that?
Why not?
Or have a plate, put a hole through the frame and just go right above it. That's probably what I would do actually.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. Jack, take a video from this angle. Look. Looks amazing. You ratchet strapped it down?
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks amazing.
The height looks great.
Yeah, it does. And there's a ton of room for an exhaust, which was one of my customers' first concerns, because he wants to go ahead and scoop this from us. But I told him we were testing, so if the drive shaft's here, your lowest point of the car is still this part of the subframe. You could easily fit an exhaust. If it was an oval down the side, you could fit 2 huge pipes here, like really easily. The concern would be coming into this area, but as long as you're below, you know, this point on a plane, the exhaust can be here and it would still be fine. I think we're gonna be good for exhaust. I think we're gonna be good for everything. Drive shaft angle is gonna be really good. Yeah, it looks phenomenal. The location for the axles looks perfect. So what we need to do next is bolt the dummy block to our GSR and then get that in with a transmission stand, put the front subframe in, set our spacing from the bottom of the block to the subframe, because we have the dry sump pan, which is 2.5 inches. So the engine needs to be 2.5 inches above the subframe at a minimum.
From the oil pan flange.
From the oil pan flange, and you'll know the height's fine. We want to just put it as far back as possible where we still have good tunnel clearance, which I'm hoping is going to be about 1 inch further back than where the factory engine would be. Then we'll leave it there, we'll scan it.
We're gonna scan it.
We'll scan it and make engine plates to hold it in that location. So we don't need to put motor mounts because they're going to be in the way of our dry sump anyways. Once we get it up there, we then need to design transmission mounts, which will probably start with plates welded to the sides of the transmission tunnel and come down with a flange that we can bolt another plate to that'll line up with the GSR mounts, and we'll make the engine plates. But for this, all we need to do is set it in place to see what our drive shaft angle is going to be like, to answer the questions of all of our viewers and interested customers. Because let's say that our drive shaft pitch angle is, you know, let's say it's too high, which I don't think it will be, but let's say it's too high. You could easily raise the front mount of this to match the downward angle of the engine, which we're going to put at 1 to 1.5 degrees down. You could easily match that pitch by raising the input of this up at the front, angling it slightly so that the angle may almost cancel each other out and be less than 1 degree.
How are you gonna raise it?
Well, I would just redesign the plate. Jack, I would go on my computer and I would hit Control Alt, raise the diff and angle it slightly, and I would just do it.
That's exactly how it's done.
It's not how it's done, but
That's how it's done.
if I'm gonna like Control Alt End task, anyways, it would be really easy to modify this mount to hold this diff on a 1 degree up at the front, like really easy. But I think we're gonna be more than fine where it is. Do a good pan shot.
Okay. Name's Roddy.
So that people can see the clearance around everything.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot some photos. We're just trying to help everyone out. Share the knowledge that we're gaining while doing this and providing it as a product for our customers, because it's just what we do. We do everything for you.
Drifters in the drift community and business. That was corny.
Cool. Well, keep it up. We'll let you work on, you're gonna mate the block to the GSR. The block's really light because it's empty. So you can like lift it and move it around.
Put it on the stable?
Easily. Bolt them up. The bolts for the transmission to the engine, I think, are in a box at the other shop though. Because it's a 1.5 thread pitch in the block. We don't have any on the shelf. I don't think. M10 by 1.5. You can check. I don't think we have any there. If not, yeah, throw it together with a couple bolts and we'll get on mocking up the front and then designing a transmission mount and motor plates. Good shape.
Sounds good.
God, dude, this is a